Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I am going to show you how to create this card. This is one of my monthly club cards for April 2021. Okay, so the recipe is 8.5 by 5.5 thick basic white for the card base. There's a piece of 5.25 by 4 basic white for the inside. A piece of Blackberry Bliss 5.25 by 4. A piece of Whisper White for the front, or basic white, which is 5 by 3.75. And then I have already die cut the leaves out of some basic white, so there's 4 of them, and they were on a 3.5 by 5 inch piece of basic white. I have a piece 2.5 by 3 to stamp the flowers, and a piece that was 2.5 by 2, and I die cut a piece for the sentiment. And then that's it. So I'm going to use Grace's Garden stamp set, which is retiring. The Garden Gateway dies that match it, and they are retiring. And the butterflies, oh wait, that's a different card. No butterflies. Okay, so step 1, I'm going to take the front piece and forgot to get the ink. Some smoky slate. I'm going to stamp the fence in smoky slate on this piece down towards the bottom and off to the right hand side like this. There we are. Okay, so I'll put that to the side, and I'm going to get out the 2.5 by 3 inch piece of white and some basic gray ink, and I'm going to stamp this image and I'm going to stamp this image on there, and then on the inside I'm going to stamp that image again, and on the envelope. So it's going to get my inside piece and my envelope, and we'll stamp that while we're at it. Just stamping in the corner here a bit, and then I'm going to do some sponging. And the envelope as well. I never send out a naked envelope. There we are. So that's it for those colors. And then I need Blackberry Bliss to stamp the sentiment on the piece that I've already die cut. Make sure it's on the right side. And I'm going to stamp this right in the center-ish, I hope. Oh well. It is what it is. Okay, so now we can put things together. So I'm going to get my magnetic platform out, and we're going to die cut the flowers. Now, I always used to color my stuff before I die cut it, but then I discovered that if you do that, spend all the time coloring and die cut, and your die cut doesn't work, then you've wasted all that coloring. So now I die cut first, and then I color. So if the die cut messes up, I don't waste all that coloring time. Okay, I'm just going to put that through the machine. And pop those out. Like that. Okay, so dark Blackberry Bliss. I'm just going to quickly color in the flowers. And this dotting, sometimes it's difficult to decide which is which. And I'm not going to color the envelope, but I'm going to color the inside one. Just a little bit like that. This is finicky coloring, but it doesn't take too long because we don't have to do any shading at all. It just dots of color. There we are. Now dark granny apple green for the leaves. And I just got finished doing the online thing with my club members where we put these together. So I figured while it was fresh in my mind, I would get at least one of them done. Okay, so that's that. Now the little one. And do the same thing. See, the die cut didn't work perfectly on this one, but that's okay. I'm letting it go. You don't have to have a perfect die cut every time. I know it would be nice, but you know, sometimes it doesn't happen. And you just have to go with the flow. Because you know, when you put your card together, you're the only one that notices it. The person that you send it to, they're just so grateful to get a handmade card that they don't look at that kind of stuff. At least that's what I keep telling myself anyways. So this is dark real red. Now you can color these with any coloring medium. You can do Stampin' Blends like I'm doing, or the markers, or pencil crayons, watercolor crayons. You can use a blender pen and a re-inker. Whatever makes your heart happy. I like blends. They're my favorite. Oops, don't color with that underneath because it will go through. They're my favorite method of coloring right now. They're alcohol based and there's no coloring lines when you're done. There we are. Okay, now find my sponge and the Blackberry Bliss ink, and I'm just going to go around the outside quickly. Do a little bit of sponging on the inside. I don't sponge a lot. It's not my favorite technique, but I know I have lots of customers who really enjoy it, so I'm trying to get outside of my comfort zone. And I'm going to do around the outside of the sentiment as well. Boy, talk about going rogue. Whew. There we are. Okay, so there's all our little bits and pieces. Now the other thing I have to do is this card, I don't know whether you can tell or not, but it has score lines all the way around it, just to add a bit of interest to your background. So to do that, get out my score tool, and I'm going to go at 1/4 of an inch in and 3/8 of an inch in on all 4 sides. Just like that. Now I find it easier to do it on this side, so I'm holding, but you can also do it this way if you want. Okay, put that little baby away. Now, adhesive. Get it started here. Come on. When you're putting this on, don't push down too hard or you'll flatten your bumps out. And it will be a wasted effort putting all those bumps in there. Okay, so that just goes on there like that. Now this will go onto the card front. This way. Okay, so now I'm going to take the die cut leaves and I'm going to kind of place them where I want them to be. Now you have to make sure you place them out far enough so that when you put your sentiment on, you're going to be able to see them. So I'm going to lay them there, and then I'm going to take my sentiment and do a dry run to see. And I'm just going to pull them out a little bit further so that they go kind of where I want them. There, that'll do. Now, you take your glue dots and your pokey tool. Oops. And do one glue dot at a time to hold them in place. Oops, come on, up. Like this. And so that stabilized them. Now I'm just going to take and put one in there to hold the other end down. And I'm not worried about whether these are being hidden or not, because they're going to be hidden by the sentiment anyways. And you can cut those tails off if they become annoying, which they often do. Okay, just slide this one underneath there. There we go. And some dimensionals for the back of this. And while I'm at it, oops, that was upside down. Put them on the back of the flowers too, because we have to do that. So we might as well do it at the same time. There we go. Okay, sentiment on first. Let's make sure it's straight. There we go. And the big flower off to the right, like that. And the little flower. Now I didn't put a cat on this, and you are very welcome to stamp a cat and put it on there too if you want. There we go. So I'll just put my glue dots out of the way and get my wink of Stella, And I was going to add some Winkostella to the leaves, just because you can never have too much bling. And there's not any bling on this card at all, except for the Winkostella. So I'm just doing the inside parts of the leaves here. Now, I also want to do the flowers, but this reactivates the red. I don't know why it does, but it does. So instead of going on there with a sweeping motion, just dab, 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 dab. And then you get it on your flowers, but it doesn't mush the ink all over the place. Dab, dab, dab. There we go, just done. There's the card. We'll just put the inside piece inside, and that card is done. A really quick and easy card to make. Duplicatable if you need to make a whole bunch of them. There we go. So there's the card. One of the cards for my April 2021 monthly club. If you'd like to, if you're watching this after it goes public in a year and you'd like to join my club, please get a hold of me. Email is gjmollet@shaw.ca, or go to my blog at glendamollet.blogspot.com, and all of my contact information is there, as well as my online store. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stampin' Smiles, and bye for now.